Throughout the units of the Sonoma County Jail, there are 2 safety cells for inmates with suicidal behaviors. Inmates who attempt suicide are escorted and stripped nude in a safety cell for at least 2 days or until seen by a mental health professional. There have been approximately about 11 in-custody suicides in the Sonoma County Jail, as well as more suicides in the 1990s. Due to the unstable condition of the county jail, the county deputies drive inmates to commit suicide. There were 2 1990s suicides in the Sonoma County Jail that became astonishing to our citizen journalism. Inmate Harris committed suicide by hanging himself in his cell. After Harris's suicide was followed 2 weeks later by the suicide of Telsrow, who hung herself as well. These suicides were unsupervised, because the media alleges that more than 24 jail deputies have been investigated for accessing pornographic material, as well as sensually explicit chat lines while on night shift, during the time of the suicides.
Hello, you have reached the presidential chat line. For one-on-one hot talk with a pan dropping, please have your parents' credit card ready. Remember, you must be 21 or under.
When the officers, especially the younger ones, are mentally fascinated too much on adult material on the unit computers, these inmates can succeed in a suicide. These inmates are not being carefully monitored. This is neglect in the Sonoma County Jail, as deputies and nursing staff who bastardize their county reputation by representing themselves as a devil in God's clothing. Welcome to the brothel house for those who have been sensually assaulted by male deputies. The female inmates have reported that a constant stroll of male deputies that frequently come to the safety cell and torture them for being unclothed. The male deputies would target the most vulnerable female inmates with a few brief words, such as disgusting, ugly, indecent and shameful. When examining the allegation of sensual torture against the unclothed female inmates in August 2014, I have busted a tall male deputy who peeked at an unclothed female inmate in the safety cell, when stating, "You're disgusting." He then strutted away with an unappealing smile on his face. It's very sickening to know that these deputies have been getting away with this from the very beginning. I wanted to experience what it's like in the safety cell in the Sonoma County Jail. This is the only way I could investigate the environment of being unclothed. I was then stripped nude in the safety cell, when stating, "Marker," to the male deputy holding a camera. The officers knew I was a film reporter, so they decided to follow the jail's policy by sending out the same gender deputies to evaluate me in the safety cell. This is a relatively rare procedure to follow the jail's policy. The welfare of the rubber cell was very filthy. I was abandoned in a sticky cell, without clothes for 2 days. I never experienced any sensual harassment from the male deputies, but I noticed that a male psychiatrist was staring at my nether regions, who evaluated me in the safety cell. At least, I felt happy that I was not a victim of sensual harassment. I have seen many male and female inmates who have been escorted and stripped from the chest down in the safety cells. First comes the uniforms, then out goes the underwear, flying in mid-air, out of the safety cell. Some with violent behaviors that need to be strapped nude in a sticky restraint chair. This is a unique violation, because in most jails, inmates are strapped in restraints or thrown in the safety cell, with their clothes on. So, who was really the cray-cray bondage lady, behind the curtains, at the brothel behind bars, in the Sonoma County Jail? Get rough with her, with those customized fluffy cuffs. After all the fun, the deputies have stopped sanitizing the slimy restraint chairs, to remember those ladies, or what deputies call princesses. Well, you decide. Anyway, 2 inmates yelled, "The Sonoma jail officers raped me." I have noticed that male deputies have recorded unclothed female inmates with their cameras, when the policy of the jail states that the same gender deputies must handle the procedures when stripping down an inmate. I questioned the deputies about the cameras being held while stripping an inmate, because this has been a widespread issue with the pornography activity scandal involving correctional deputies. The deputies had an alibi that their procedures are to record the situation, so they don't get sued. It makes sense, but this might be an excuse to hide their excessive sensual desires with the inmates. Even though there are videos of nude inmates, the jail authorities refuse to submit the footages in court when a lawsuit has been filed. Then, what do they use the footage for, if they never release them in court? The deputies should not video record unclothed inmates when they are being stripped down in the safety cells. This is a violation of privacy.